Hi, this is Greg Green, and this is kind of part two of Why You Flip. And when we did teacher observations in our school, what we did is we looked at the time spent in which the teacher dominated the conversation. And the first thing we wanted to look at is our schedule, and wanted to say, do we really spend 180 days on instruction? Because when you look at the school process in America, what you'll find that really you don't. And time just simply slips away from you as a school. And so when you look at the first day and last day exams, vacation days, absenteeism, counselors, going into classroom drills and celebrations, you really spend on average about 120 days educating your students, and that's when it goes perfectly. And we know that, because you're dealing with teenagers, your days don't often go perfectly. So what you have to realize is that we are really racing against time when we talk about improving student learning and getting it in before we take state tests. And so we have to put a premium on how much time you're spending with your students, working with them in class. Well, one of the things we did is we looked at the time in which teachers actually dominated the conversation in class compared to actually working with the student. And what we found that our teachers dominated about 83% of our class time. And that was startling because we looked at an average 60-minute class, and we found that at 5 minutes at the beginning of class where teachers were getting attendance taken, students were getting ready, and then about 30 to 40 minutes of that class time was spent reviewing information. Well, they weren't simply lecturing. Sometimes they were interrupted, they had to repeat things, sometimes students had questions and they had to review a point. Maybe they wanted to just review a point in class that was really important, but we found that the teacher dominated the conversation the majority of time. That left for just a small amount of time for the students to be actively learning and engaging in the content. And what we found is that led to about 20 hours of personalized attention per year per subject. Well, that was startling to us because what we found that, no wonder students were struggling in algebra and chemistry and physics and so forth because we weren't spending enough time on it with the expert helping the individual. And that when we sent the information home, we saw all the at-risk factors that we talked about before. But in class, we weren't spending as much time as we should have on seeking and actively helping students out. And when we flipped the classroom, we did a reversal in what we could support our students. A general rule is that our teacher spends about 17%, 20% of the class time dominating the conversation, and 80 to 90% of the time the students are actively working. Because we can put our lectures on video, we're able to take the information and push it off, and that is part of our homework process or right at the beginning of class. And then now students are actually working with the expert in class in a safe environment that has technology that is supportive to their learning. And so that's this part two of our Why You Flip. It's because one, you have a supportive learning environment, but two, you also have time to help the students. Because now we've quadrupled the amount of time the students have with teachers in a supportive environment, and this hasn't cost any money. So how do you improve your learning? You have your expert work with the student on a day-to-day basis. And so whether you're at risk or not at risk, one of the things that's crucial to flipping your classrooms is understanding that your teachers will have more time helping your students. This has been Greg Green with Flip Schools. Thank you.